Do men and women not need each other anymore? That is what we're going to be discussing today. We're, of course, back here on Reddit to see. I mean, this is an older post, says 6 months ago, but it's something that's been going around for quite a while. And it seems to be a growing divide between men and women. I've done other videos on this. But it's approaching the topic of do men and women need each other anymore and things of that nature, which is kind of sad to see that for me at least because they're better together than they are apart. But I'm just interested to see what other people on the internet have to say about it because you see all these TikToks of women saying they don't need men anymore, but then men are saying they do need women. And it's just this weird dynamic that's going on there where it's like men men are not needed anymore, but women are needed and men don't do anything right or something like that, which is just obviously not true. And I mean, I hate to break it to people, but men have built the world. You can't really say anything else against it because it's true. It's not to demean women or anything. I think they are both wonderful in their own way. But you can't deny that without men, there would not be the world that we have. And that just period end of story, no discussion to be made. A lot of the jobs that require us to have these houses, plumbing, refrigerators, all of it, men started and keep up. That's why I don't really like how society has become so separated on this issue. And of course, we're here on Reddit because Reddit is the best place to get information. So we're just going to see a couple comments of what people have to say on the subject. And this is the main post. It says, men and women no longer need each other. We live in a new era where, for the first time in history of mankind, men and women no longer need each other for survival. Therefore, they choose to be together because they want to. They choose to be together because they want to, but they can also stay single if they wanted to without any problems. 100 years ago, that would have been a problem. This is also a reason why relationships are so short-lived and nothing is solid anymore. Everyone is easily replaced. So is this a good thing to not need each other? No, it's not. It's not. It's this the idea that we don't need each other is ridiculous in and of itself. Last time I checked, it's a man and a woman that comes together to produce offspring, and that's the only way that that happens. And so, just from that fundamental standpoint, we do need each other. But it's also to help build each other up because men and women complement each other in different ways. They are different, and that's a good thing because I wouldn't want to marry somebody who was like me. I'll just put it that way. It's nice to have the opposite side of the spectrum. Men and women complement. They don't. What's the word? It's not that they attract to each other. They don't repulse each other. Well, at least not until recently, apparently. And that's why this whole idea of it being men versus women is just so absurd to me. It's like why does it have to be either or? Why can it not be both of them? Like, I don't know, maybe for all of history. Just the idea that we are now able to survive without each other. It's like, what do you mean by survival? Live? Well, sure. But I mean, in order to reproduce, we kind of need each other. Unless you want to start just producing robots, and we can't even do that yet. So obviously, it's just preposterous to think that even fundamentally we need each other, and even more so when it comes to pursuing things in life. Men are more motivated and things of that nature when they have a woman who's there to support them. It's backed. You can look up any amount of research on this. It's just true. This is marriage is an economic institution. I think not needing others is lovely. I think it's great that women have financial sovereignty. See, this is where I agree, but it's also to the fact like, okay, they may not need men in the sense that they don't need them to survive, which is true. In a sense, I mean, you still need men because they get your food, they manage the houses, manage electricity, and all of that nature. But it's just ridiculous to think that because that is set up in this way now they no longer need them. And it's also preposterous to think that because men have done all that that they don't need women either. Again, it really always goes back to the point. They're meant to be together. That's why they are two sides of the same coin, if you will. You can't really separate them no matter how much you try. And it's just kind of sad to me that society has gotten to the point that it has, where it's just trying to tear down the fundamentals of being a man and a woman. I just don't. It doesn't really make any sense to me. These questions aren't always easy to answer. From a philosophical view of this type of question, we never truly know whether something is good or bad in the long run. We can make guesses and predictions based on what we know will happen and is already happening, e.g., there will be less relationships, therefore less sex, therefore less babies, and we can then say that the world population will decrease as a result. True. That's all clear. What isn't clear is whether or not it's a good thing or bad thing. Perhaps less people will put less strain on the environment and resources. This is preposterous to me. It's like, who are you to say that other people shouldn't have a chance at life because of preserving the planet? Yes, I believe we should preserve the planet, obviously. It's not good to just let things run its course and just destroy what we have. But also to just completely and utterly give up on having children to save the planet. It's just ridiculous. I mean, part of the reason we're here is to produce offspring to continue our species. It's just a poor argument. Some people might also think they will become less happy and less fulfilled living single lives. But that might be different from person to person, so it could be another line of discussion and isn't totally clear either. Just my 2 cents. Peace. Well, I mean, yes, not everybody needs to be together. Obviously, some people are better single than they are in a relationship. Some people just lean more that way. Some people want a relationship. And that's why it's a dangerous road to say, well, we don't need men or we don't need women. It's like, no, we need each other. Maybe not individually in some circumstances if you want to be single or if you want to be in a relationship. What do you mean by need? Do you mean need in terms of a relationship? Do you mean need in terms of you don't need men in your life, period, to do anything for you? Because that obviously isn't true no matter what you say. And so it's just it's so sad to see the decline in society. I mean, I still have hope that we can turn things around, but there's a difference between hope and things actually getting done. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments about this whole divide that's going on between men and women. Um, I mean, I've already said my thoughts. We need each other more than we don't, obviously. But it's interesting to see what other people's English perspectives are on this situation. And then, yeah, just to see where we can kind of go from there in terms of what we can do as society to kind of try and mend what has been people have been trying to tear apart, if you will. So if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, and I hope to see you guys around. Peace.